Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK, and today I'm first up for UK Scrap Addicts. This month's theme, we are concentrating on paper folding techniques in scrapbooking. So I thought I would do one of my favourite things, and that is to make these paper folded sort of 3D stars. Now I have shown this before on my channel, but I just love it, and I've got so many layouts now with these 3D stars on that I thought I would do it again. So I've already gone ahead and die cut out some different size stars, and I've decided that I want my photo to also be a star shape, so I'm just going to go ahead and die cut that out too, just using my Big Shot there. And this photograph here was taken at Blenheim Palace. We went to go and see the illuminated trail they do earlier on in December. And I just thought that the photo worked really well with the stars. Now I've chosen to use Cocoa Vanilla collections. I think I've got a mixture of Unforgettable and Happiness in this. So just going to zoom in, and this is how you make these 3D stars. So you line up the top point and that bottom point to the same score line and score down, and you need to do that on all 5 points. Just working my way around. And the last one. And I do find it helps if you've marked your board where the line is. So you can't see it very well here, but I've got a black, just used a Sharpie to mark the 3-inch I think I've done. So I can see very easily where the top and the bottom are. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can use your trimmer. So again, just line that top and the bottom point up in that trimmer, the track, and then you can score down that way as well. So this is where the fun starts. So what we need to do is just fold those stars in half, the points in half. So where you've got each of the points coming out, you just want to fold that bit upwards in half. And then what you want to do is you want to fold 2 together. So I'm just slowed this down a little bit. So if you just fold 2 together, and then you're going to want to score those to get a, not score them, you want to burnish them to get a proper crease line. So I'm just pulling these in together, and it helps with forming the shape of the star. And just like that, and you'll see it helps with the middle point of the star. And then just going to come in and score all of those down. I must admit, I'm so excited about the theme this month, because it's one of those things that I love trying different techniques in scrapbooking and paper folding. I've caught the bug with making these stars. So I can't wait to see what the other ladies create and what I can learn off of them this month. So I'm going to add in some Heidi Swap Colour Shine, and I'm using Sweet Mint, and I'm using Rose, I think. It's the colours that matched the papers close enough in my stash. And just move that photo out of the way. I have got a habit of splashing ink all over my photo, so I will learn my lesson to move it out of the way. Now, if you are watching this on the UK Scrap Addicts channel, hi. Hope you are enjoying all of the inspiration that the team bring you. If you are watching this on my channel, ScrappyNerdUK, please be sure to head on over to UK Scrap Addicts channel. I've linked it below to go and take a look at what all the other ladies create during the month. We have a lot of fun with our different theme every month. So I wanted a sort of a greyish black colour. So all I did is just used a black Posca paint pen, added some water to it to dilute it, and it's given me this lighter black stroke grey colour that I wanted. And I'm just using a paintbrush to add some splatters. That's probably one of my really good tips for you. Use a really small paintbrush. It gives you better splatters. So if you're not very good at splattering, even the Heidi Swap or any of the ink sprays, the Dilutions ink sprays, the Mr. Huey's, whatever you've got, then a paintbrush works really well. So dip your paintbrush in instead. Now this is how we adhere the stars onto the onto your cardstock or background, whatever you're using. I've used 2 little foam dots in the middle to give the middle some height, and then flat adhesive on all of the 5 corners. Now if you want the stars to be much higher, with a lot more dimension, then add more foam into the middle. Now I don't want mine to be too bulky, because I know that I struggle with my album as it is, having too much dimension in there on the layouts, too many wood veneers and flare and all sorts. So I'm just going with 2 foam dots on this, and that works for me. So again, I'm just going to show you the process one more time. 2 foam dots in the middle, and then you want some flat adhesive on the outside. So you can use wet glue for this, or you could use tape runner, as long as it's a strong-ish one. One of the roller tape things, or just some double-sided tape like I'm using here. And they're just popping that one down. Now, because of the pattern on this one, you can't see it very well in the video, with the dimension, the 3D-ness, but it is there in real life. So now I'm on to embellishing. Oh, I did actually pop my photo up onto some foam dots as well, just to create a bit of a shadow behind the photo, because I didn't really want to back it with any more pattern paper. So the fun bit, the embellishing. So I've just used one of these tassels, and I'm going to use this little green bow as well. It doesn't make it into either of those positions, but I'm also going to use up a couple of flare. I go all out on this one and add 2 flare on. I like to, you only get 6 in the pack of this, so I like to only put 1 on a layout, but I really felt it needed a second one. So I go with that camera, and I go with this other one that's got a sentiment on. And just digging through what else I've got. Okay, so I decided to go for a long title on this. I did consider using the word sentiments that came with this collection, but decided against it in the end. So I just grabbed these tiny little gold glitter thickers from my stash, and I use an absolute ton of them, but that's absolutely fine. And I use a quote, I believe from Lord of the Rings, which is "Moonlight drowns out all but the brightest stars." And I thought it worked really well with the theme of this layout and the photo, so I went with that. And next, this is old school. These are Brads, and I've been using these in my December daily, so I thought I would make the most of them being out and actually get a few more used on here as well. So I'm going to use one to pop through that little ring of the tassel to add that on, and having to use my pokey tool there to get it through the paper. And then on the back, I just open up the split pin on the back. Apologies if you just heard the dog then. And I'm just going to add a bit of tape onto the back, because when this goes into the page protector, the layout that is on the back of it, I don't want that brad getting caught on that layout. So just adding a bit of tape to protect it. And then I'm going to add 3 of these stars in total. Now, when I've looked back at this layout a couple of days later, I thought it might have needed a couple more. So I might go and add 2 more on, keeping with the odd numbers. So yeah, and that's okay if you make a layout and you want to go back and add something else on or adjust it later. That's totally fine. So yeah, I just feel like I need another 2 on here somewhere. So although these flare have got foam pads on the back, I always add a little bit of extra wet adhesive because I've had it before where they've fallen off. So a little bit of wet glue to help. And that is where the bow and the flare is going to make it. And I'm just showing you, I remember I nearly knocked my Prosecco over whilst I was filming this, so that would have been disastrous. I'm just using a fine line Stampin' Up pen to write Blenheim Palace. And then I'm going to date stamp using, I think there's a Project Life one, using a date stamper. So I want to add in some little tiny word stickers. I decided against journaling in the end because although this photo's on this layout, because I love the photo is also in my December daily. So it's going to make 2 appearances and I'll journal about it there. So I'm not too precious about not having it journaled about actually on this layout. And let me know, do you ever scrapbook a photo more than once? I know I've done it accidentally before, and I've done it where I've had design team stuff where I just use a generic same photo to add on to make a layout, but I'm specifically scrapping this photo because it will work with the theme of what I'm doing, but I know it's in another album. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you scrap the same photo because you add it into different albums for different children? I'll be interested. So, last up, I think, is I felt it needed a little bit more sparkle. So I'm just adding some of the gold Heidi Swap Colour Shine, and I am done. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're going to give this a go. If you do, be sure to tag us all on Instagram, either at ScrappyNerdUK or UKScrapAddicts, and give this video a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below and see you next time. Bye!